reading through Project 2025 so we can see what we're in for these next 4 years. Also, this is coming from someone who grew up with Christian nationalism and Christian fundamentalism, and so I kind of grew up in Project 2025's world of the policies they want to implement. I am actually reading what we've done so far in my videos straight off the PDF that you can get in Project 2025. It's like the mandate for leadership. This next portion that we're going through is talking about the White House and the positions that the president needs to give and select to make up his cabinet. It also talks about how the chief of staff is going to be basically the most important position for the president to pick, and that the chief of staff is going to be like directly responsible for implementing Project 2025's policies, and that their biggest hurdle in order to implementing these policies is going to be time management and figuring out how they can work with all of the other advisors and cabinet members to create the most effective meetings with the president and get stuff done. So they put a lot on that. And this next portion is just honestly really boring of describing what each position does and how they can use that position to get like smaller government and things, and how basically the success of Project 2025 rides not only on the president, but on the president's choices. And so far, as everyone else in the USA knows, the president's choices have been a wild ride. We have people who have been accused of SAing and found guilty of SAing, being up for jobs in like defense and working with law enforcement. We've had people who are Fox News anchors being offered jobs. What I've noticed, which is interesting from Trump so far, is that he picks people who are not qualified at all, but just that he likes, or that kind of like suck up to him, because it's very obvious that Trump is a narcissist, and so he's going to kind of pick whoever is going to make him feel the best. And so he has, to the ambassador to Greece, a person who was a Fox News anchor, so she doesn't really have any experience, and she also dated his son and was there like on the stage with him and celebrates him and loves him, so he picked her. And I think this is going to be the true downfall of Project 2025 with Trump, is because since he is such a raging narcissist, he does care about himself and his own means more than he does of everyone else. And so that's shown through his like cabinet picks. And this is probably good news for us, because not as much will get done since he's picking people based on how much they can suck up to him versus how much they can actually do and how qualified they are. And so when you look through his picks, he has so many extremely underqualified people that I'm confident it's just going to be a mess, hopefully, and they can't do too much damage because they don't really know what you're doing. Working in the government requires an extensive knowledge of like policies and being able to go through red tape and work with the bureaucracy and being able to understand the forms that you have. And people who are not used to working like that and are only used to working in the private sector are not going to be able to get anything done, because they just literally don't know the procedures and processes in place to get those things done. And also, Trump gets mad at people on his team so often and fires people really often because, again, he's a raging narcissist. And so that also allows a lot of stuff not to be able to get done, because people are constantly like working on stuff and then getting fired and then having to have other people pick up that slack and do it. So this is kind of like the most hopeful I have been after reading this, because it's already clear that with this Project 2025, Trump is not quite following how they wanted him to follow, because they wanted him to pick very knowledgeable, very qualified individuals who know how to work with the red tape in DC, and he is not doing that. So fingers crossed it won't be as bad as I unfortunately think it will be.